Good morning, dear students. We are the mentors for the today's session. Myself, Nisha.
And myself, CS Megha.
We welcome to you all on the BOS for Your Success organized by Board of Studies, the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. First, let me take an opportunity of congratulating to each of you students for being at the final level. Dear students, this is a wonderful opportunity to connect with you through this platform. And really, it's a great pleasure to just come up with whatever issues you are facing while reading and understanding of the subjects. But yes, expecting as of now that you are thoroughly through with your studies. And now it's the time to focus on the issues pertaining to the examinations and what are the tips that you can look into it so that you can improve your performance in the examination. There are many small minor things that needs to be taken care of. That looking into that thing, you can improve your obtaining of marks. You can improve your performance during the examination. So that is why this session is scheduled, and as the name reveals, BS for your success. And in fact, I would like to tell you, you must have been observing as well as you must have experienced that at all the level of the chartered accountancy course, there was a different, game. Because at the foundation level, you must have come across with the simple nature of the questions, and at intermediate, you will be seeing that little bit of higher complex nature of the questions dealing with the practical situations with respect to the application of the laws. And at the final, this is again the higher level of the chartered accounting course. And here you'll be facing with the different nature of the questions that are being posed by the examination to check your test ki how much equipped you are with the subject as an expert. We understand that you are in tremendous pressure because you all are very busy with your articleship training schedule, and of course there is no scope for holidays and Sundays.
Festivals.
Yes, and then in admits you will be finding this May and this November examination. So we do understand your position, but yes, being in the final lap, what is being required that you need to start your planning and preparation for the examination in a timely manner. That means during this 2.5 years of the articleship, you should properly utilize your time. And there are many students, what they do, they tend to wait for the last hours. They wait for the 11th hour to start up their studies. And at that moment, they face the problem to implement their planning with respect to the study or their preparation. So at that time, they just get frenetic and agitated. So this is the problem with the students when they start at the last hours, the studies and all these things. So it is required that time management is very important. And now since we are just left with around 40 days from the examination, the thing is now to focus more on what are the things that you can do of whatever you have done so far, you can improve upon that your efforts that you have put in as of now. So with this intent, we would like to start a session, but yes, you remember one thing, that you can make your own future and you are the sole creator of your own destiny. So it's the time when you can decide what is best for you. So accordingly, you may proceed with, prepare your timetable these 40 days, how you will proceed with all the subject equally, because every subject is important. So go with your proper planning, execution, strategy. Yes, your strategy should be well in tune with your best preparation that you are going to put in as per the examination level, so that you can reorient yourself as per the expectation of the examination, so as to be successful in your whatever the thing you want to achieve. So with this, we would like to start up with the session. Over to Megha.
Yes. Before starting the session, we can see that what is the object of scheduling this class. To enhance the knowledge. We are assuming that until this time you have read the entire study material, because study material is the Bible for all the subjects. There are right now there are only 40 days left for your preparation, and if you have not read the study material, kindly go through it once. And once is not sufficient. I think 2 to 3 times revision from the study material is must for all the subjects. So we are assuming that this time, up till this time, you have read the study material, and there is I am just recapitalizing the publications available which you have studied till now. And first is your study material, that is January to October 2021 edition. Then second is your MCQ booklet, which includes around 30 or 35 case scenarios and around 100 to 150 MCQs. So this study material you have revised minimum 2 to 3 times up till this time, and MCQ booklets I think you have been go through it minimum twice. Then after that, suggested answers, MTP and your RTPs. So whatever you have read till this date, till today, how you can enhance your knowledge, how you represent your answers. So from this session you will gain that after reading this study material, what are the concepts in your mind and how to write that concepts, how to present your answers, how to maximize the presentation of your answers. So we will guide you for that. So enhance the knowledge. So whatever you have read, how to utilize that knowledge into your paper, we will guide you regarding that. Then focus on presentation. You have read so much material, but that will be tested only for 3 hours per paper. So how you present your answers, it's a very big question for you. It's a very important question for you, that the answers are presented in which way. So we will guide you regarding the presentation also. Exam strategy, as Nisha has already conveyed, that 40 days are left for your examination. We are assuming that from 1st November your CA exam will start. So what will be the exam strategy? What will you do in 40 days? And what will you do during the exams? Like for example, you will get 1 day leave for your examination. So how to utilize your 1 day before the exam? So we will guide you for that also. Discuss on the common issues like what are the students are committing mistakes in your answers, like you have given in May 23. So we will guide on that also, that students are answering in what manner and what is the reason that they are giving less marks. So we will discuss some common issues also. Working on improvement of your preparedness, same thing, that you have read the study material, you have read the booklet, but if anything left out, if any lacuna is there, if some, this I have told you this, if you have not read the study material, yes, I know that 40 days time is a very limited time, but abhi bhi you can read the study material if you have not read. So how you can improve the preparedness, how you can improve your strategy. So we will guide you over that also. Motivate to move positively. Yes, positive vibes is a must for CA students. Positive, you must be positive whenever you wake up in the morning. Just say in the front of the mirror that I am a chartered accountant and I will become a chartered accountant after November 23. So this positivity makes a good impression on your mind. Whenever you think positive, the positive happens. Just think this in your mind, that whatever you are thinking, if you are thinking positive, then positive will happen, and if you are thinking negative, so negative will happen. So try to divert your mind toward positivity.
Yes, even it is being said that one small positive thought can change your
Your-
whole life. Remember that. And this motivation in itself to believe on yourself and to move on with positivity definitely enlightens you how you can proceed with your planning and strategy in a proper and in orderly manner. So as Megha said that we shall be focusing on presentation. You know, this is the most important aspect. It is in fact the ticket for the success, I can say. If you're, because everybody reads the law, everybody studies the same subject, but then also there's a difference in the scoring of marks. Why is it so? Because there's a difference in the presentation, the way you lay down your answers during the examinations. So the presentation is the ticket for your success. So we will be taking up this point. How to present your answers will be taken in detail later during the session. And exam strategy, because many students by and large, they prepare for examination under a fear, you know.
Yes.
They are in a tense situations. So what is being required, how you can overcome this, you know, this intensity
Phobia.
as well extensively this phobia and all these things, that we shall be taking up. What are the small that efforts, or what are the small things, do's and don'ts, that you can look into it so that you can come out of that fear factor. And of course, common issues, well said, improvement of preparedness. If you're going to follow all these tricks or whatever the things we are sharing with you, so definitely somewhere you are going to gain from it. Somewhere you are going to improve in yourself, and that you will realize at your own.
Yes.
Yes, there is, good morning to students, Viraj, Pooja, and other students. Very good morning and welcome to you all, first of all. And I could see out that Pooja has come up with one query. Please clarify whether session code and special codes are same, and also tell about the competent code. Dear Pooja, if you session codes, if these are the codes which take into consideration, yeah, which who trials the criminal cases actually. Generally, if you see the hierarchy of the code, there is session code as well as district code. They are at the same level. They are in the same hierarchy. Only the difference is that session codes look into the criminal matters, right? So they try the criminal procedures and criminal trials there for the criminal cases. Whereas where there's district code, they look into the cases of civil nature. And when you talk about special code, so these are the codes of the session code in nature, but they are being specially appointed for a particular purposes to deal in. So they are being assigned as a special code by through a notification to look after the special, special types of the matters. Even if you have seen in the Companies Act, there is a provision for adjudication of matter before the special courts also. So specifically, they have been assigned certain matters for the trials. So they are the special courts. And competent court. Competent court is a court who have the jurisdiction to look into it. According to the jurisdiction, they are competent to look into the certain matters. So they will be termed as competent court. If they have been assigned certain matters, yes, they can look into it. They will be get competence because they have been authorized to look into that matters. So that way, this is the basic difference. And for more clarity, you can go into our chapters of the Companies Act of Education chapter. Yeah, there you will be finding out what are special codes and when they are assigned to act as a special code, what are the matters that can be tried by the special codes. At a certain extent, they have the same power as that of the session code. This has also been given over there. So just go through it. More clarity will be there in the concept.
One more query we have received from Mr. Harsh Koyal. He is telling, I am going to give my exams in May 24. What will happen to me? From May 24, the revised scheme is applicable. So I think he want to ask some subject specific.
We can only give you with respect to subject part only.
So yes, this paper has been shifted to self-paced modules, and self-paced modules are those modules which you have to do in your training time of training period. So if you have not cleared, try to clear your paper in November 23, but by chance if you have not cleared this paper, so you can give the paper in May 24 whenever the self-paced module examinations are conducted. Yeah. So the paper syllabus is same. I think syllabus is same. Only the testing mode is different.
To certain extent, there's a difference in the syllabus. In the SEBI Act, you will be finding that
some more regulations.
Yes, some regulations has been added, few more.
Yes.
As well, if you'll see in the economic law portion, yes, now you're having only just the three laws. Yes, FEMA, FCR, and IBC. So this is the thing. However, the Companies Act is the same. Only the scope of the security laws has been increased.
Company law is by and large same because the foreign companies has been shifted to intermediate, and rest company law portion is 80%.
Only one chapter e-filing has been added with intent to acquaint with you with with this IT based knowledge as well as ethics related portion. So that portion has been added.
Yes.
Then one more query is there from Pooja. She's asking, means special code handle both the nature of matter? Yes, they can handle both the nature, but it is being clearly mentioned in the notification what matters they are going to handle, which nature of the matter they are going to handle, and which power of the code they are going to have it. At certain level, they are having the civil powers also. Just how to impound for the documents, how to summon the parties, how do so in that case, what nature of trial will take place? In that case, they will be having the civil powers. But with respect to punishment part, when you see, then the session code power is being given to them. So it is clearly specified, whatever the nature of power they have been given, it is clearly defined over within the act or within the notification through which they are being assigned as a special code. So hope this is clear to you, Pooja. Now moving to the next part.
Yes. What are the common issues? First common issue is that what is marking pattern of flaw? Dear students, as this is the provision based paper, theoretical paper you can say, so stepwise marking pattern is followed. What is stepwise marking? For example, if you have given a 4 marks question, theoretical question, simple case scenario, so 2 marks will be given for your provision and 2 marks, approx 2 marks will be given for your answer. So this is the stepwise marking, or maybe there are 2 questions involved in the one, there are 2 subparts. So 1 mark will be for one part and second marks for second subpart. So you cannot say that if your answer last conclusion is wrong, so your out of 4 you will get 0. No, you will not get 0. You will, if you have written the provision, so you will get 2 marks for the provision, and if out of 2 answers you have written one answer correctly, so you will get one answer for 1 marks, one answer. And second के लिए if you have written wrong answer, so your only 1 mark will be deducted. So whenever you are writing a law paper, just before giving the answer, just write the provision also. And provision you can start, like if you have not remembered the section number, so you can simply write according to the Companies Act 2013. This is the case. And if you are remembering the section number, so you can quote the section number also, like for example, according to section 196, I'm taking just an example of the Companies Act. This is the provision. So after writing the provision, you can correlate the provision with the facts given in the question and you can answer accordingly. So this is the stepwise marking. You don't have to fear that if you have conclude on the answer incorrectly, so your entire marks will be deducted. No, that is not the case. But provision, writing of provision is mandatory. You can say mandatory in the law paper, because around 50 or 40% marks will be for provisions. Without provisions, you cannot write the answer directly. Okay.
Yes. And one more thing, this paper is a closed book examination.
Yes.
So definitely they are somewhere expecting that you should write down the provision. So if you are having the knowledge of the legal provision, they are testing on the basis of this only that you have the basic knowledge as well as conceptual understanding of the subject. So they expect that you give the provision. So certain marks has been assigned to the writing of provisions, and plus, as Megha said, you have to give the legal issue and the correct and logical answer.
Any marks for section number? I already replied you, tell you that citing of section number is, you can say it's not mandatory, but it is required at the final level, being at the final level. And some students say कि हमें section numbers याद नहीं होते. So how to remember the section number? Dear students, you are at the final level. So much you read the BARE Act, you will remember the section numbers. And we are not saying that you write the subsections also. Just you can write the major. Just for example, if we say that in 149 directors, there are so many subparts, subsections 1, 2, 3. So we are not saying if you are remember the subsection, then you can write the subsections also. But simply quoting the section 149 will suffice the purpose. So as and when as you read the BARE Act, as you read the study material, so apne aap automatically your section number will be embossed in your brain, in your mind, and automatically it will cover in your answer sheet. So if you have remembered the section number, you can quote it, but by chance आपको section number नहीं पता, for some chapters like आपका NCLT, special course, some paper has come, operation mismanagement, some sections you don't remember, so simply you can start your answer like according to the provisions of the Companies Act 2013. Like economic laws, may remembering section number is difficult, we can understand. So you can simply start like according to the provisions of FEMA, according to the provisions of IBC. But wrong nahi likh ke aana. Do not quote a wrong section number. So how to, then also one question is there, answer to score good marks. Read the question carefully. ये तो must है कि you have to read the question carefully. Maybe you are writing something else and the question is asking something else. So 15 minutes time will be given to you for reading. So during this 15 minutes time, first of all, you can do that out of the 6 questions. First question is compulsory. Out of remaining 5, you have to do 4 questions. So you can simply choose the question, that question which you are not going to answer. Okay, so during that 15 minutes time, you can decide that out of 5 questions, which 4 questions you have to answer. And also you can read the questions carefully, that what will be the provision. You can quote in your, you can write in your mind that what will be the answer. So 15 minutes is a very crucial for you. Okay, this is an additional time. So you can read the question carefully and derive your answer as per the requirement of the question in commensurate with the marks allotted. For example, if the marks is 4 marks, question is of 4 marks, so you can write accordingly. Like for example, sub question is covering 6 parts, so you can, if all the 6 parts are in procedure, then you have to write all the 6 parts. But there are some times that there are 6 parts are different in nature, so you can simply quote 4 subparts, 4 points of that question. So according to the weightage assigned to the question, you can write your answer. And complete answer should be given. Like complete answer, what will be the complete answer? Your, first of all, your provision is an important part of your answer. Many a time students called us that, ma'am, I have written the correct answer, but marks are not allotted to me. Why? Marks are not allotted to them because they have not quoted the provision. So complete answer is this: first of all, you write the provision, then you can correlate your provision with the facts of the question, and then you can conclude.
Yes. As said, citing of section numbers, this is the biggest issue among the students, whether
Yes.
they should cite sections or not. But let me tell you one thing very frankly, at final level, it is expected that you are having an expert knowledge of the subject. So it is being expected from you, student, that you write down the section number. This is being the expectation of the
Yes,
examination. Yes.
it is expected.
Yes. And to add on spice to your answer, if you give the reference number, to somewhere it give weightage to your presentation. So it is required that you write down the section. And if you write the section number, then its relevance will give greenery to your answer.
It will make a good impression.
Yes,
also.
yes. So this is being required. So you can try to retain at least main sections, not all the sections, okay, but some of the main sections. If you inculcate in yourself the habit of reading, then definitely you'll be able to retain the main sections. So whenever you are reading any provisions from the book, read along with the subject. Section 149 of the Companies Act talks about the BOD, Board of Directors. If you read like this, then again 150, it talks about the independent directors, how data bank and all things, how they will maintain their this details. Okay, so this is the one. If you read from this point of view, along with the section number, the section heading, then you can make it out and you will be able to remember the sections and try. Because unless and until you won't try, you will not be. Because if starting only, if you lose the what to say, that instinct in, no, I can't do it. If you lose that hope, or you just think, no, we cannot remember the section at all, then definitely you will be not. The first change your attitude, ki yes, I can do it. To try to do it at least from the starting from the main section, right? And as Megha said, ki you can improve your performance during the examination by following these certain basic steps. Okay, and complete answer, as Megha said, it should be properly supported with the legal provisions, because logically somewhere you have to link why you have given this conclusion. So you need to give some back end support. Some support should be there. So supporting should come from the valid and correct legal provision. So logically and practically it should be correct and supported. So it is from the examination point of view also, okay, why you have given this conclusion, or some way you need to support your answer. So proper legal provision should also be there. And if it is being, if it's being given and supplemented by this section number, citing of section number, then it will make a significance, you can say a difference in the answer.
One more part, presentation of your provision. Sometimes I have some student came that he is showing me some answer. So he's showing that he's written the provision in the diagram form and flowchart form, and he has not got the marks. So we request that you write your provision in the legal language, no flowchart, no diagrams.
Yes, this is good.
Yes.
Retaining and revising the concept.
Only for notes purpose.
It should be only in your notes, but not during the examination.
Yes.
You should test your
Short
language.
forms,
Yes, how you frame the language, how you lay down, how you give the presentation. So during the examination, please avoid these kind of methods of writing your answers.
Diagrammatic presentation, just
Yes.
avoid. There's some query.
Yeah.
Will any live session on final new course?
Final new course, yeah, very soon announcement will be there, and definitely it will be made you know from when all these things will be starting. So keep yourself updated and be in touch with the website.
This session is for November 2023 session. So please restrict your queries for this attempt only. We request.
Because it is in the pipeline. The planning is already in the pipeline, and very soon the announcement will be there.
Writing answers in those 4 steps take more time.
Sumit, Sumit, we can understand your concern, but the thing is that if the answer is of 5 marks or it is of 6 marks, so it depends upon your weighted elaborate that particular questions. So there they expect the answer should come in entirety in a complete manner. And definitely, if you are saying to don't write everything of the legal provision,
do not write the complete provision.
In the sense, whatever is fulfilling the requirement of the question, give only that much aspect of the legal provision, right? And then you can simply, you can simply point out whatever the legal issue has been pointed out in the question, and then you can say, so in the light of the given or explained above provision, this is the conclusion.
Yes.
So you can do only the relevant aspect of the legal provision. Just focus on that part.
Mr. Viraj, I have completed module reading and live session for paper 4. Live session, I think live classes is talking about.
Live learning classes.
Okay.
Yes, Viraj.
What else I should do? Dear student, we are just coming on the coming part, that after reading the study material, how practice, that in what manner you can practice.
What are the other things that you need to
just wait for some time.
Take into consideration, right? Then what Pooja has asked?
Ma'am, lose my internet connection, dear student. It will be recorded session, so you can see it once.
You after can see the finishing. Anytime.
It took 45 minutes to read whole paper. What do improvement or reduce reading time?
Dear students, that is what. If it takes 45 minutes to read the paper, the
first will you attempt?
Yes. So you need to just practice. Not only from writing perspective, from reading aspect, so that you are able to understand the question, what it is asking. So just do attempt, Viraj, all the this RTPs, MTPs, whatever the question bank is available with you, just do more and more practice and read. Definitely, this will also increase your time duration. Somewhere you will take less time in comparison to the first time the paper you are reading. And as far as this is concerned, reading time, so this will, but definitely when you read again and again, so it will take a less time. It will reduce your the number this time zero time your time. So go in that manner, just go with it, just practice, and definitely it will help you.
Under examination conditions, it will be done.
Then what does
I learned only section, not subsection. So it's fine, dear student. Subsections are not mandatory. Even sections are not mandatory. So if you have remembered the section, then you can quote the major sections.
Next. Now, these are all the sources available for revision or the practices. As Viraj is somewhere who has asked regarding that they have already completed the studies. Yes, Viraj. Now, what to do next? So these are all the additional sources or the supplement sources that are available for revision part. Yes. Once you are through with the studies, means whatever you have read it. Now you can focus on listening part. Whatever mode you listen or audio in the audio form, that will again recall whatever you have read it. So whenever you get the time, just in a day, at least start with listening of the important sessions that has been taken under the live coaching classes. Go with it. Whatever the assignments given over there, just try to solve it. And plus RTPs suggested and MTPs. These are again the 3 important question banks you can say with you, and that too of the past 4 attempts. So many questions are there with you to go on practice. Just read all these questions and try to write the answers, to read the answers, and to practice more and more. So this will not only make you comfortable in the subject, grasp on the subject, but also it will be helping you in the revision part. So please focus on these facilities that has been provided by the BOS for improving your performance in the examination.
And if you one thing, if you have not seen the live coaching classes till now, so 40 days mein, I think it will be difficult to see the entire live coaching. So might be you are having some problem in some chapter. So you can see only that chapter and you can clarify your doubts and you can raise the queries also. So right now this you cannot see the entire classes. So in which chapter you are having problems, chapter wise we have uploaded the classes on the BOS mobile app as well as BOS website. So you can see only that lectures.
Yes, and wherever you have any technical issue, you
Yes.
can go and watch these sessions. These sessions has been taken by the
Experts.
experts. Yes, those who have the practical exposure. So there at many places they have come up with the practical issues also. How you can go and solve as per the law the practical issues. How you can handle the situations. So if you have any query issue related to any of the chapter, the
Yes,
technical
you're having
part,
some
so
problem.
please go to these sessions, listen it, how they have correlated the practical aspect with the legal provisions, how you can come up with your issues and get it resolved. Now the next is the usage of language and manner of giving answer. Yes, one more aspect has been left. Yes, that is the capsule. That has part has been left. Yes. Along with the provided whatever the sources I have told in my earlier slide, apart from that, there is a capsule which is being monthly published in a newsletter journal for different subjects. Okay, so you can go on these capsules also. So these capsules gives you a brief layout of your chapters that will help you in revision and in understanding the crux of the legal provisions. So that you can refer while revising the subject. And also there is one more new publication, Saransh. Yes.
Saransh is a combination.
Yes. It is a complete Companies Act, company law. And to the extent it is applicable to you from section 149 onwards, you can refer in the Saransh. Plus, if some reference of earlier any sections
Yes.
comes over there, you can refer at the same time that sections also of the intermediate level. So please go through these additional facilities or the sources for your benefits. Sorry. Then next is this the usage of language, manner of giving the answer. Yes, this is again very important. It is talking about the presentation. What I have said, though you have read everything and you are blessed with so many sources available with you, but yes, you miss it if you do not have a writing practice. You lose the luster of your planning and preparation if you are not able to write. So what the thing is required, you need to practice, and how you can practice this could be done only through going the various sources, whatever I told you, suggested answer, RTP and MTP. And you can see if you just do not have only the reading practice, but you also have a writing tendency also, you have developed that habit, yes, you do writing also, then in that case you are able to you're able to understand the law, you are able to apply the law, then you can analyze the situation, you can evaluate and answer the questions. Those who have the writing practice, those who have the writing habit, they tend to understand the legal provision more clearly in comparison to the person who just read and live it. So it's required just do the writing practice also. So one thing that I request and I urge to say to you students, being a faculty, being your mentor and a well-wisher, of course, to follow seriously and religiously the writing from just picking up certain suggested answers of few attempts, 1 or 2 attempts, and write the answer same as given over there in a book. So what will happen? This will increase your writing speed, practice, then your revision, plus it will tremendously change your life. It will change your attitude towards the learning, and you will feel comfortable, and whatever the examination expects, you tend to fulfill that requirement, and this is something which is in your commands. So it's requested, just do the writing part, right? And not only by solving all these suggested answers more and more, but also by solving MTPs for all the subjects. So this will make you more stronger in your subject and you will be more confident. So language, what are the small things that you need to take care of writing your answers? Yes. Language to be used. Already said the same language, legal language, that should be taken up to the extent possible. Yes, it's possible. It's right that it cannot be given as it is, but verbatim reproduction is not possible. It's true, but then also to the extent possible. That means you should read in such a manner that you are able to write it over there in that way only. So read the law, the bare act, how the act is only given. Then you will be able to write down the answer as per the examination expectation, being an expert. Then no generic answer. Again, whatever is asked, it should be pertaining specifically to the provision. It should be related to the provision. It should not be given in generic answer. In a common manner, it should not be given in that way. Because if something is asked specifically, testing your expert knowledge in a special scenario, in a special, with this special information given over there in the light of the specific section, then you need to be specific. You does not require to be give a generalized answer. No verbatim reproduction, already said, it is not being expected at all. Right? Then properly framed language. No flowchart, etc. Already said and conveyed to you. It should be a proper language, legible language, right? And it should come out with proper and logical meaning and sense. Then any provision given should have essential element of the legal provision. As already said, no legal provision can be let down as it is. Right? This already I have communicated to you. So any provision given should be containing the essential elements. It should contain the key aspect of the legal provisions which are in line with the requirement of the question. If something is given in the question and your answer is based on that, particular information given in the legal provision, you can simply by mentioning the relevant section number, if you are already remembering it, you are sure, give the reference of the section number and just give that important line or the element on which that answer is based, and then you can give your answer according to that legal supporting of provisions that you have given over there. Only that much provision is sufficient which fulfills the requirement of the question. Already said you. So this is clear to you. Then proper conclusion in line with the requirement of the question. Yes, conclusion also has, as already said, there's a breakup of marks. It also has certain marks assigned to it. So when you're writing an answer, so proper these steps needs to be followed, at least followed by the proper conclusion in what you have concluded your answer as per the terms of the legal provision to which that particular question prevails. So that should also be there in your answer. So hope that it is clear that how the answer can be given, how it could be done. And moving to the other important aspect is the examination. This is very important aspect, examination. And I'm telling you, if you really want to get rid of this examination, so
just clear it.
Yes, otherwise again reading the same subject and facing we all the same facility of these faculties will be little bit, it sounds to be little bit boring. So if you want to get rid of all these things now, please clear it and go it. And sometimes it happens that exams take it in such a way that it is a giant who is punching on your head. Just think it like that only. So in that case, what you need to do, you need to assemble all your strength to get rid of the examinations. So take it in that way lightly and don't consider it is very tough. I'm telling you, if you take it and proceed in a proper manner, you will find it easy with no messy. So I'm telling you, you can do it examination. There are certain important aspects that you need to look into the examination. You know very well, in the examination, the first lab that you have to clear is 40% marks to pass the paper.
You can say 50%.
And second, 50%. This is second lab. This is the next lab I'm telling about, which is 50% marks in aggregate. Yes. Now, what you have to do to secure or clear the first lap of 40% requirement, what you have to do? You have to, this is the gateway. You have to pick those laws which are easy to study so that at least you're able to clear the first 40% requirement. Yes. And the balance 10% for clearing the aggregate for 50%. You have to find out, you can say, pathways how you can achieve that balance 10%. What are the important things on which you can focus on? What are the important topics that are regularly being tested in the examination? These are the pathways which will cover your balance 10%
Yes.
of the, this examination perspective, where you can clear in aggregate also the paper. So this can be, a key for your planning and preparation. So you need to work in that manner to clear the examination, and you should go in that, clear mindset how you will go it. So please go with that strategy planning, so that you can easily take it easily with no message that what line I have used. You will not be matlab, somewhere fear should not be there, and you can easily face it up.
Yes, paper pattern. I think you must be aware that what is the paper pattern as of now. But if you have not seen the paper pattern, it is a must for you that before going to the examination, before going to the November, you just have to go through the past year papers. Like in what manner the question is being asked, what are the number of questions. Like past year question papers, may you will not get the MCQ portion. Like as you must be aware that you must be knowing fully 101% that this paper has been divided into two parts: 30 marks for MCQ and 70 marks for your descriptive questions. Okay, so 30 marks question paper you will not get, because it is the student are giving the question paper, OMR sheet is to be filled, and they take the question paper back of the MCQ. So you will not get the question paper of MCQs, past year MCQs you will not get from the examination, but past year papers are available for the descriptive portion, that is for remaining 70% marks. So as you can see the suggested answers also, this Nisha has already conveyed to you that when you see the suggested answer, so you will get the idea about the what types of questions are being asked, how many questions are there in your examination, and what is the skill test, that the question is for your application or application oriented, your paper question is your knowledge and comprehension KNC, or your question is based on ENS is your evaluation and synthesis. So as many question papers, as many suggested answers you will read, you will get an idea regarding the paper pattern, and it will be easy to go in the November 2013 examinations with a brief idea that what will and how much time the paper is to be given. So 30 marks ke liye MCQ portion you will not get the question paper because it is not available at the website, but 70 marks ke liye you can refer the suggested answer, and apart from suggested answer 3 to 4 attempts question papers are also available, so you can see the question papers. Division A comprising of entirely MCQs for 30 marks. We will guide you that how to read the MCQs, because MCQs ke liye bhi how to attempt the paper. This we will tell you. And Division B comprising of descriptive questions for 70 marks. It will be entirely descriptive, covering 3 skills. And MCQ 30 marks. It will be two types of MCQs will be asked. One will be based on case scenarios, and second will be based independently, in which no case scenario will be there. Yes, Division A, MCQ 30 marks. Case scenario based and independent. Case scenario, what is the case scenario? You will get an idea if there is a booklet the BOS Board of Studies has published on the portal. It is of January 2022. There is a mixture of case scenarios and independent. Case scenario, what is case scenario? I think you must be aware, but I am just briefing in 2 minutes. That case scenario, what is case scenario? You will be given a case, you will be given a case study, and you have to read the stories that whatever the condition requirement of the case scenario, and on the basis of that case scenario you will be asked 3 to 5 MCQs. Okay, so 3 to 5 MCQs will be based on case scenario, and I think 2 case scenarios will be asked, so around 10 to 15 marks, 10 to 14 marks paper out of 30 will be based on your case scenario. And second, independent scenario. Independent means there is no case scenario. Direct question is asked. Application oriented can also be there, but they are not interrelated. They are not based on some case scenario. So independent MCQs will be there, and I think 14 to 16 marks MCQ will also be there in that part. How to attempt the MCQs? The option is MCQs are such that a student needs to have good knowledge of the provisions and apply the same correctly to the case on hand to hand. Before going to the MCQ, we are assuming that your concepts are cleared. You have concept clarity, because until your concepts are not cleared, you have clarity in your concepts, the MCQs will be very tough for you. Just mind it. So we just go through the study material 2-3 times. Just go to the booklet of MCQ 2-3 times, because the options given in the MCQs are so close. You remember the provision, but looking at the MCQ, looking at the options available, somebody can forgo the provision, somebody can forgot the provision. So concept clarity is a must. Like before looking at the question, you can get an idea what will be the answer. Before looking at the options, just go through the answer by looking at the provision. So my advice, that just read the MCQ question and don't look at the options available first. Just click in your mind that what will be the answer, then match your answer with the options given, because after looking at the options of the MCQs, you might get confused. Okay, so options are so closed. Options are available. Your MCQs will be based on your case scenario. Just whenever a case scenario is given, just read the case scenario minimum 2 times before attempting the MCQ based on that. Okay, so concept clarity is a must for MCQ. Some students say that MCQ is a very simple portion. No, MCQ is simple also and MCQs are difficult also. It depends on your concept clarity. It depends on your knowledge. So concepts, just go through the study material, the entire publication. So much material, so much, as and when you read so much material, study material you are reading, wherever you are reading, it will automatically come in your mind. The answer will automatically come. The flow of your answer will automatically come. So for that, reading and writing is a must. And every MCQ has 4 options and all the options are near to each other. And student has to read, choose the most appropriate answer. So whenever you are reading the MCQ, you are just looking at the option A. You know that yes, option A, you get an idea that yes, answer A is the correct. Option A is the correct answer, but no. Just read all the MCQs, all the options A, B, C, D. Might be D option is the most appropriate. Like looking at the provision, like looking at the option A, you can think that yes, A is the correct answer. I'm just quoting the A. But before quoting A, might be A is the correct answer. But just read all the options available in the MCQs. In case scenarios, read the case scenario fully. I have told that minimum twice you have to read the study material, and 15 minutes time will be available. So 15 minutes mein you can read the case scenario also in descriptive paper. The MCQs arise from the facts provided information in the case scenario. So this is the framework that how you attempt the MCQs. The crux is that concepts will be, your concepts has to be cleared before going to the MCQs, and you have to read the booklet available, that is of January 22, because maybe some similar type of questions come in your examination. So as you read the study material, you read the MCQ booklet, it will be good for you.
Yes, and even MCQs, one thing is there, as Megha said, you need to read each and every options given over there too, and you need to trace out which is the appropriate answer. So it is for, in that case, you can do other way around also. What you can do, this is the first way that you can do it, but other way around, first read all them, not the option I'm talking about, but yes, the questions, the MCQs.
Yes.
Read the MCQs and then read the facts. So you can make it out which para is relevant pertaining to which MCQ. Then you can again read the question and that relevant para, and then accordingly you can further move on to the options and then mark your answer. So please take a note for this. You are being provided the OMR sheet.
Yes.
There you have to darken the
Pencil.
circle. Yes, yes. And every other information is given over there in the answer sheets. So kindly read the instructions given in the examination properly, which pencil you have to use, whether you have to mark with pencil or pen. Every information is given over there. Just go accordingly and come up with the most appropriate and correct answer.
Yes, these questions would be compulsory. Like for section A, division A, 30 marks ka, you have, there is no choice. There will be no extra MCQ. Whatever MCQs are covered in your booklet, you have to give all the answers. Descriptive questions we will come later. No internal or external choice. no negative marking for wrong answers. For example, if we out of 20 MCQs, we are not aware about the 2 MCQs, just quote the answer, whatever, A, B, C, D, because there is no negative marking.
Yes, don't leave anything.
Don't leave anything, because there are some professional examinations also, there is negative marking in that paper. So students are afraid that we are not quoting the any answer which we are not confident. But here, up till now, November 23 2000 examination, 23 examination, there is no negative marking. So 2 or 3 MCQs, if God forbid you are not aware, about the answers,
not confident, you are dicey, so just
quote it.
Yes, as per your general understanding and as per your understanding. I can say, just apply your mind and just mark the answer.
No reasoning required. Yes, you just have to attempt, because OMR sheet is there. You have to just encircle the full circle of the answer. If the answer is B, so you can encircle dark the option B.
You can
no
reasoning, that particular circle.
No reasoning
Yes.
required.
Yes.
MCQs will be knowledge application based of 1 mark or 2 marks. Like mixture of questions will be there. Some questions can be direct in nature also, and some questions, some small case scenario can be asked. On basis of that, application oriented question of 2 marks can also be asked. So it will be 30 marks question will be a mixture of KNC and application oriented questions.
And after reading this study material, and when you are reading this case scenario booklet, first try to solve at your own rather than directly looking into the answer.
Yes.
So try to do in that way, because learning can never be done without error or the defeats. If something you miss out or something you mark as a wrong answer, so definitely you will again see why this answer is wrong, and you will go into the relevant that legal provision why this is wrong answer, and then you will come to know yes, I have committed this mistake. So have that learning attitude also. So just solve case scenario booklet also at your own first, along with whatever the MCQs are given in the RTP or the NTP. That also you should take care, and you should solve at your own, so that you can understand how much you have the understanding of the subject. And somewhere if something has been missed out by you, some concept has not been taken or has been considered by you, you have not read it, then you will know this on this basis also sometimes the MCQs are being tested,
because reasoning is also given in our answers.
Yes, so you can go with it, and this will really help you a lot. This will booklet, that case scenario booklet is really a boon to you student, because this will give you enlighten how the concepts are being tested through the way of the MCQs, and which topic and how the questions are being framed, in what manner the application is being tested, in what manner the knowledge or the direct nature of the question is being tested. So you tend to know, so just go to it. And those students who are appearing for the first time, so definitely this will give you a clear picture, so that they can easily face the examination without any hesitation and fear. Then this is now the paper pattern. Paper pattern, if you see, now we are talking about the division B, which deals with the descriptive part. Division A, MCQ part, which has already been discussed, which is of 30 mark segments, already told to you, and all are compulsory, no choices they were given over there. But in Division B, if you see, this is the basic paper pattern. It constitutes of 70 marks, and you will be seeing that here there is a first question which is compulsory. Okay, and the rest of the questions, that is, out of the remaining 5 questions, you have to attempt any 4 questions. So in total, you have to attempt 5 questions out of 6. Now you have to divide your time allocation. How much time you are going to attempt this paper. So allocate the time, and definitely the first question, which is a compulsory question, is tricky in nature. They are a little bit higher level of this knowledge is being tested over there. Higher level of complexity is there. So if you see, this first question is of evaluation and synthesis based in nature. And what is evaluation and synthesis based? These are the Bloom taxonomy actually, whereby they describe these are the higher level of the difficulty. They are being testing not just on the single provision, but on the integration of 2 or more legal provisions. They check how much you understand the whole process or the whole concept in entirety. So they evaluate and they just integrate, and then they ask how you will give your answer, how you will apply the law in various situations under a different applicable provisions. So question 1 is basically tricky and difficult, or it may be lengthy, either of anything, or it may be both. So it depends upon the nature of the question. So generally question number 1 takes more time in attempting. So give more time to it. Okay. And for rest of the paper, you'll be finding ki all are at par in nature, means difficulty level is almost the same. Okay. And there you can divide the equal time to each question. So in this case, what you need to do, first you need to read the question paper, as already said by Megha, read the question paper completely, the 15 minutes. That is very crucial and important for you, just putting you in the state of do or die. Do or die in the sense, if you understood which questions you are going to do the first and which questions you are comfortable, the manner, everything, a clear picture is to be drawn in your mind before attempting the examination. And if you won't clear yourself within that 15 minutes of time, then definitely you will be in a confusion state while attempting the question. You will randomly pick any of the question and suppose you get stuck up, then your time will be killed.
Yes.
And again, then you will cut down and then again pick one more question. So that way, what will happen in your copy answer sheet, if the first question is in strike mode, it gives a wrong impression. It is always said first impression is the last.
Yes.
Somewhere it works. Aksar, you must have seen every time, and you must have seen this thing. The first impression, wali baat, is absolutely right.
Just give that answer in which you are 101%
Yes.
confident. Out of five questions, you have to choose 4 questions. Question 1 is compulsory, but if you are not confident about,
leave it. Huh?
leave it. So first attempt that question in which you are 101% sure, because first impression is the last impression. So examiner को लगेगा कि हाँ, yes, the student knows. So it will create a good impression on the examiner.
बिल्कुल. और फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन की करने के बाद अगर आपने सही से अटेम्प्ट कर लिया, you will also be confident. I am telling you, and you will come into a flow with the passing of that time in the examination, with writing of that particular question which you have comfortable and you have attempted first, and then later on you can start doing. And if you are not sure about the complete, take it in a last, but do, of course, do all the questions.
Yes.
Make it point ki yes, I have to do the complete paper.
You can leave the space.
Yes,
the sub parts.
Yes, yes. If you are sure, suppose partially you know the answer. Suppose there are 2 parts of this compulsory questions. Let's take it, and you are aware of only the part first of the question. Do the part first properly and nicely, and then you can leave certain space for the second part, which you can do later on after completing rest of the questions. Okay, because time management is very important during the examination. So time, it is well said by William Shakespeare. A line has been given. It is better 3 hours too soon, later there, but then in comparison to 1 minute too late. Even by 1 minute also person get late in their life. So it is better to do on a timely manner. Just frame the time and accordingly you may go with it. Now, how you can answer the descriptive questions? Okay, you know that descriptive questions are also are of 2 types. They may be either you can see practical or you can say application or analysis based. Evaluation and synthesis already I have discussed. Basically, there are 3 natures of the question at the final level. If you see evaluation and synthesis, then आपका application and analysis, and third is आपका comprehensive and yes, that knowledge based.
Comprehension.
Yes. So then evaluation and synthesis already is a higher degree of the difficulty level. So they test your integration of the 2 or more provisions. Then when you talk about application and analysis based, they check how you analyze the legal provision within the provided or relevant legal provisions and how you apply the situation within that legal provision. So you analyze first the situation and then apply the relevant law. And then comprehensive knowledge based. They may be direct provision based. They may ask you which legal provisions will be given over there. Certain situation will be there, and then will be asked some procedure, some compliance, or some sort of thinking. Yes, what will be the answer in the light of said section? Only in that way, simple section and the simple conclusion. Not much analysis is being done in that particular question. So that these 3 natures will be there in the descriptive. So read the questions properly. Just find out what are the requirements of the question. Just go with what they are actually asking for. So that should be clear in mind. And then what are the information is provided in the question. Then only you analyze within the provided information, and then which provision will prevail over there in such a situation, and then apply and write your answer and then conclude your answer. Okay, so you have to recall the legal provision. This is the first situation. You need to understand the situation, the information, what legal issue is given in the question, and then you should make out under which regulation or the statute or the law or the legal provision it is being regulated, or it is being, you can say, governed, that you need to recall. That should be clear in your mind. So you should have the understanding of the law. This is what is required. You know what the law says about which provision deals with what. So that should be clear in mind, so that you can usually make out at the moment of time by reading the requirements of the question. Then correlate and apply the law in the provided situation. This has already been well explained to you at many times during our session. Then give conclusion with correct answer. This is also well told to you how you can go with it. This is also required, and it is also a mandatory step in your answer. If it is supposed of 2 marks, then you does not require to write the provision in very detailed. Simply you can write the conclusion, but that in line with the requirement of this section. Yeah, as per this section, this has been said, and accordingly this is being complied in our question, or it is given. It is fulfilling. So there you can, with for the 2 marks, you can give your answer in short and in precise manner as per commensuration with the marks allotted to that particular question. Then now moving to the length of the answer in commensuration with the marks allotted. Already told, you should take care that you should not be writing the tale or the story or the complete thing. But yes, you need that it should be in commensuration with marks. No story is required. Sometimes happens, students know complete law, so he tries to show that I know everything, and they keep on writing. That should not be done, because this is expert knowledge and it is the expert level of the subject. So it's required that you need to give only that much relevant portion as per the marks allotted to the question. Your answer length should be accordingly, right? Answer is properly framed language. ये तो आपको बता ही चुके हैं कि there should be properly framed language, should be given in a legible manner. That should be there. No, that short forms or that message language or WhatsApp language should be used. Avoid all these things. And somewhere if you are using the abbreviation of any term, so in the first line or wherever the term has been first used it. So after giving the detailed nomenclature, just write in the bracket the abbreviated form, and then later in the answer you can use that abbreviated form. So that should be clear in your mind, that answer should be given in a properly as in professional course, not like a layman or graduate course. Okay. Then avoid giving generalized answer. This has already been told to you. It should be pertaining to the provision, and it should be provision based. That is given to you. One question is there by Sneha. She is asking about the question of the RTP of November. Okay. Yes, Neha, you are absolutely right, because this limit of foreign contribution where has been given by our relative has been exceeded from 1 lakh to 10 lakh in the recent amendment, and this amendment is given in the RTP. Yes, there is a question, and already a corrigendum has been hosted on the website. Kindly check it. There since the limit is within the 10 lakhs in the question, so there you does not require the permission of the central government. Yes, if the limit has been exceeded, then in that case, though that contribution is not foreign contribution, because it's falling within the, you can say, within the purview of the section 4 of the FCRA, but yes, you can see, since it is within the limit, so no permission of the government. If it is exceeding the limit, then of course you need to take the permission of the central government from central within 3 months. So this is the amendment that has recently been done in the FCRA. So kindly go with it, the corrigendum as well as the amendment. And I'm glad to see, Sneha, that you have brought this issue before this platform. So let students maybe communicate it, so that in the future they can best utilize this information. Okay, already this point has been discussed.
Yes, one query we received from Ms. Neha again. In May 23 examination, there was one question whose suggested answer was based on case law. How to deal with this type of question? I think the case law must be covered in the book.
Suppose if case law is not there, suppose, so your answer should be based on the legal provision.
Yes.
What the legal provision says, just give your answer according to it, because it may be possible that every case law is not given in the study matter. It may be possible every sort of case laws you may not be aware of. In that case, simply write your answer based on the legal provisions.
Yes. So Meet, I got 39 and 36 marks in last 2 attempts. How to improve? Yes, we know in Sumit Jain, we were earlier seeing him also in the
Yes, earlier class also, Samit
Yes,
Jain,
we are
I know
seeing
that
his
you were
also.
then a very dedicated and very hardworking
Working
student.
student.
Yes, but yes, Sumit, somewhere something were missed out, and I've
Yes.
said learning can never be done by failure or defeat. Somewhere in the life we generally face the failure, but don't get upset. We should try to overcome what the things we have not taken care of, what we have missed out. Yeah, how we can improve it. Move with this positive attitude forward, and just whatever the tips, whatever the things we are sharing, try to follow follow to the extent possible for you. And also everybody has his own style of learning and techniques. Just do in that manner in which you are comfortable. It is not that only this is the way that you can do it. Okay, these are the add-on informations, and sometimes additional information also helps you. So to cover any journey, any kind of the journey in your life, it begins with a small step. So these are all the steps that we are giving through this session. Just do it, and definitely
you will
yes,
in November.
yes, your talent, your hard work and dedication will surely lead you to the victory. Go with it, Shubham. Don't
Sumit.
take Sumit, sorry. Go with it, Sumit, and don't be hard pressed. Don't be upset. Just move on, and with the positive. And I already have said, if you have that positive instinct, you will definitely do it. Only the thing is that somewhere you are missing something now. So that practice part, I suppose, because many of the students, what I'm saying, they generally in ideally they miss out this wala part, presentation part. And answer writing skill can be developed just by practice only. I'm telling you, just for first 21 days, in any time within the 24 hours before going to sleep, just pick out any one suggested answer, okay, of last 4 attempts as you're having with yourself. Just pick out and write the answer as given therein. And if you practice and rigorously and religiously and seriously, you do it and do it practice for 21 days, you will yourself realize the change. I'm telling you, you will be meeting up the level of the expectation of what the examination is looking forward from you, students. And this will also within your control, in your command ki, yes, I can do it. And you will be, when writing, you will be confident ki, yes, I'm writing the way they are looking forward for, and I'm writing absolutely fine as the legal language over there. So writing matters a lot. So just focus on the writing part. That is really I will be saying it's a key to success. If you do this particular aspect, look into this practice part, then you will going to rock it.
And don't look back.
Yes,
Just start afresh.
Time is gone. I
अब चला गया.
yes.
Yes.
आप बस ये देखो सुमित, only I'll be saying it. Yesterday बोलते ना, जैसे कि कल आपका जो चला गया है. There's a one famous quote that I remember. देखो, from yesterday you can learn. आपने अगर पिछला कुछ भी किया है तो you can learn from your errors or from experience or from the experience of the others. But today you can live. आज को आप जी सकते हैं. जो है आप आज करेंगे. So you can hope best for tomorrow.
Future.
Yes. Remember this and go with this positive mindset and attitude.
Miss Neha, do we get any marks if we quote right provision but conclusion is wrong? Yes, we have earlier told you that stepwise marking is there. If you have written the correct provision, so you will get the marks for the provision, but conclusion is wrong. So for that, conclusion marks will be deducted. But for the provision and some other information, you will get the marks.
सीधी सी बात है स्नेहा, that you are not giving correct legal support to your answer. On what basis you have given your answer? That reasoning should also be logical and practically correct. So that should be there. So correct provision must be there, and accordingly the conclusion. If anything of is the wrong, that means you're not supporting your answer in a proper and justified manner. So somewhere it will be affecting on your allocation of the marks.
It is better to leave every line while answering for better presentation. I think the leaving of line, leaving of space, so much space is not required. Just whatever content you are writing, that should be legible and that should be correct.
Clear. Yes, it should be clear. Now, in case of direct and theoretical question, already said earlier we have discussed about the scenario based or problem based questions. Now we are discussing about direct theoretical questions. So what you have to do, you need to highlight the main points. अगर कोई theoretical है, just the provisions, what you will do? Either you will give you bullet points under different numbers, headings. You can even give the, that heading also, some kind of, that, yes, some suppose appointment of director, this is heading. Then you can give the provision, whatever it says about. Okay. And when there is suppose retirement of director, you can give the heading, then give in brief what is the requirement for the retirement of the director. So you can give heading with brief description of the relevant para, and you can highlight wherever there is necessitated something important to bring into the notice of the paper checker. Ki, yes, this is the important aspect, you can highlight it. That could be done. Example, if possible, yeah, if required, then you may cite the example also. Break the answer in brief points of paras. Already told you, don't give one large para. It will make your answer very monotonous. It won't give you that good impression. It won't make you to feel like reading also. Sometimes it seems to be so monotonous, so gray. So no interest is being created. So what you are required to give in the paras. That will be done. Then answer in properly framed language. This is already told to you. Yes, no table, no flow charts, nothing. And no diagrammatic representation of flowchart. This is already said, but suppose the time is about to finish and you are left with something within last 5 minutes, and you feel like I cannot write that much. Simply at that moment, something is better than nothing. Take this thing. So here you can give in the need of R. If there's a need of R, something is to given and no time is being left. Time is the constraint, and at that time you can give something either in the flowchart or tabular form, just to tell yes, I know it. So some marks will be definitely awarded to you. Otherwise, avoid. Now the next important aspect is the overview of descriptive question paper. Already told you there's the first compulsory question, which is always from the Companies Act only. Please take a mark, compulsory questions only from the Companies Act. And the chapter, this compulsory questions are only asked from chapter 1 to 3, which is testing, evaluation and synthesis based nature of the question. 14 marks. So it can be divided into 2 to 3 subparts. Got it? Nature I have told you. And if you want to have more clarity on this question paper pattern, which question will be asked from which section of the or chapter of the syllabus, kindly go into the blueprint that is given on the website. Go through it. The skill wise grid is given over there. Section, understand the importance of the topic, the weightage, so that accordingly you may give the time in learning and understanding of the subject, and what nature of the questions will be tested from that particular section covering various topics from the syllabus. So just go and watch it. You need to understand this skill grid thoughtfully as well as thoroughly. So it will take a time and you require the patience, calmness, but yes, see it, because it is very important, because this tend to develop, your that to say tenor to do for that work, your interest and understanding to do that particular preparation part according to that blueprint. This is about the rest of the question number 2 to question number 3. Already said here the question will be comprising from both the part, from the Companies Act as well as the economic laws. One part will be from the Companies Act, which will be of 8 marks. It may be either of subparts also, and either from economic laws. Second part will be from the economic laws. So it may be containing of subparts or a single question, and it may be of both nature. It can be either of application or analysis based, or it may be of knowledge or comprehensive based. So read the question, and accordingly you can understand just usage of the verb over there, or nature of the question, looking at the condition or the way the question is testing your understanding. You can make it out whether it's application based, scenarios there, or certain kind of conditions are given, or simply it is testing your just the understanding of the concepts or the legal provisions. So they are testing your knowledge. So you can understand it's a direct nature question that accordingly you may proceed with. Now this is again one of the most important thing, how to manage time in examination.
Before going, the Sumit has replied, thank you so much. I will do more writing practice, which I lagged last time. So thanks, Sumit, for accepting that you were lagging in the writing practice and you are modifying this mistake. And surely we will not want to see you in the next BOS
We would
session.
love to see you as a successful chartered accountant,
but not
yes,
as a student.
Yes.
Okay.
Bilkul.
So all
And
the
Sumit,
best.
it's really glad to see that you are open to receive something positively. And this is a great sign of becoming or going higher in your life?
Yes, how to manage time in examination. We have earlier told you also that 15 minutes reading time will be allotted to you, and you can use maximum of that 15 minutes given time for reading. You can select the question you are not going to attempt. You can select, you can decide the sequence of the questions in which you can attempt the question. So, and you can read all questions carefully, and you can analyze the answers in your mind, that what will be the answer. I know 15 minutes time is less, but something is better than nothing. Previously 15 minutes time was not given, I think 4 to 5 years say it started. So this 15 minutes time is additional, so you can make maximum use of this 15 minutes time. Okay, go through all the questions quickly. That's 15 minutes time you can go through all the questions, and if for God forbid you 15 minutes time you cannot read all the questions, so you can also take 5 minutes more, but read the questions before attempting. Okay, select the questions that you would be attempting from all the questions. We were already told you that you can select the question you would be attempting, and you can select the sequence of attempting questions. Like are also told by Nisha that in which question you are 101% confident, start with that question first, because first impression is the last impression. So you will get definitely good marks if you start with the question in which you have a good command. Mark the question which you will be attempting first. Allocate an estimated time for each question based on their difficulty level, and marks carried keeping aside 10 to 15 minutes time for revision. When I was the student, I was I practice at my home, like for if the paper is for 3 hours, I practiced it for 2.5 hours. Like I have to finish the entire paper in 2.5 hours, because if I write my answers in this speed to taking the target of 2.5 hours, then I will achieve my target in 3 hours. So whenever you are doing the suggested answers mock test paper, in spite of 3 hours, just keep the target of 2 hours and 30 minutes. So because gradually if we take 5 minutes extra from our 10 to 15 minutes time allocated time, so you will be attempting the entire paper in 3 hours, and 10 to minimum 10 to 15 minutes time will be for your revision time. So एक टारगेट होना चाहिए आपका कि मैक्सिमम on one question I have to give my 15 to 20 minutes. Apart from MCQ, you can attempt your MCQ. I think whenever you are getting the paper, just fully first attempt the MCQ part. Okay, then remaining for 70 marks paper, you can decide maximum 15 to 20 minutes time for one question, not more than that. Because if the question is of 14 marks and you have spent your 40 minutes or 35 minutes, you will get 12 to 13 marks out of 14, not more than that. But if because of this you have attempt 30 minutes on one question, and your entire one question is left, and you are not getting the time, sufficient time, so 14 marks your 14 marks will be gone. So एक हमें टारगेट वी हैव टू सेट अ टारगेट दैट फॉर वन क्वेश्चन मैक्सिमम 15 minutes time, maximum 2-3 minutes you can up and down, but 10 minutes time for your revision, 15 minutes time for reading purpose के लिए additional. First MCQ पे you can give around 20 to 25 minutes time maximum MCQ पे, and then 2.5 hours for your division marks, divisionary your division set division B descriptive papers. So kindly set a target so you get a time of minimum 10 to 15 for your revision, which you can at the last you can underline also, in which the some important concepts you have written. So at the end, if the time allows, so you can underline the important conclusion headings, you can give to the section number, but the time allows. But before that, before underlining, just attempt all the question paper, all the questions. And for example, sequencing of subparts will be same. Like for example, some student do like sequencing of main questions you can interchange. Like for example, you can do question number 2 first, then question number 4 first, after that question number 4, then question 3. But if there are subparts ABC, so sequencing of subparts should not be changed. It creates a bad impression. So if you have done subpart A and if you are not confident about subpart B, then leave a space of 2 pages, then you can do the subpart C. And at the end, also, if you are not remembered, then write something related to that question. Do not leave a single question. Maybe you get, if the question of subpart B, you are it is a 4 marks, but you are not confident, but you are writing anything, or might be it is right also, so you can get minimum 2 marks out of that.
One thing is that anything, don't take it that way कि पूछा किसी और चीज के बारे में and you're right, yes, related word. So this is just because don't take anything in such a manner. Anything here means the related content,
Yes,
pertaining to it.
and if it is correct,
Yes,
then only you will get the answer.
Yes.
Write each answer in commensuration with the marks which the question carries. Answer should be precise and to the point. We have already conveyed to you that if the question is of 4 marks, then according to the marks weightage, you can quote your answer. If it is of 7 marks, so you can increase the length. But provision should be accurate, your answer should be precise, and extra information is not necessary. Like, मुझे तो सब कुछ आता है, I know everything of this provision and I have written everything. तो जो आपको आता होगा उसके भी your marks will be deducted. So if there are subparts, 4 subsections in one section, and the answer is based on subsection 2, so simply write subsection 2, provision of subsection 2. Subsection 1, 3 and 4 are not required. Live coaching classes for revision. Earlier we have told you that mobile app we have given the recorded lectures, live lectures, because 40 minutes time, this 40 days time, you cannot see the entire recorded lectures. In some chapters, if you are facing some difficulty, so chapter wise lectures are given, so you can see that chapter and you can see that section also.
And also you can revise in a way, because yes, already you have read it, and after that, after reading, when you are just listening, you can more become conversant with that. You can, yes, and you can relate out it. Yes, and you can relate it. So that way, this will be add-on. After reading, then audio, this will make a, you can say, your memory sharp and you can retain the concept.
It's a type of revision.
Yes, it's a kind of revision only, because reading takes more time. When you listen, it tends to take less time. So that will be helping you in the revision part.
And there are some assignments also in the MCQ form in the descriptive portion. So you can do that assignments for self-assessment.
Yes, and even during the session also sometimes some examples are being discussed, and it may be possible that examples of question has come in the earlier examinations also.
Yes.
So that will also give you a clarity and how you can go with the answer and on what basis that answer has been given. So it will help you, in fact, revision only in a kind, and so kindly see these live learning sessions also, the classes available over there.
Because the experts also discuss some questions also. Last year examination questions they discussed. So you can see that at lecture and that same question come in your examination.
Yes.
So it will be beneficial for you.
And during the session, many students have come across with their day-to-day problems or the issues related to the topic.
Yes, many queries.
Yes, it may be possible that certain queries may be common. That may be a query to you, pertaining on your part also. So it may help you. Sometimes we also learn from the experiences of the others. So this is what the purpose will be served if you are going to see the sessions.
Record.
This is already being told, and go to the assignment part.
Yes, this is the section wise and skill wise grid. It is looking very difficult. कि ये क्या है? But it is very easy. In this skill wise grid, according to this grid, our paper is set. So what is this grid? Like for example, we have divided the chapters in different sections. Like for section 1, we can see that section 1 comprising of your 3 chapters: director, managerial, personal, meeting. Section 2 is your inspection, compromise, prevention. So if we look at the section 1, we can see that 30 to 35% questions will comprise from this section 1. So you can see this is a major section wise weightage has been allotted to section 1, and first 2-3 chapters are very important for your professional point of view also.
Yes.
Yes.
During your articleship.
Yes.
Because many practical aspects
corporate point of view.
Yes. Yes.
So you can see the 30 to 35% weightage is assigned for section 1, directors, remuneration and meetings. So these 3 chapters are very important from examination point of view. And you can see that on the right hand side, there is level 1, level 2, level 3. This Nisha has already conveyed that level 1 is comprehension and knowledge. in which direct theoretical questions are being asked, procedural questions, direct questions. And second is your analysis and application. What is this? Some simple case scenario, simple case study, simple practical problems are being framed, and on the basis of that practical case study, you have to, the question is being asked. So mixture of A and A question. And third level is your evaluation and synthesis. In this evaluation and synthesis, some 2 or 3 sections are integrated. It is a higher, more complex skill rather than A and A and C. It is the most higher ENS. This is the, and in this the calculation part may be asked, like in our remuneration, schedule 5 ke according what is the remuneration. Those, this is involve higher application oriented skills. So this type of questions will comprise. So we can see that your entire paper, 60 to 70% paper is based on your application and A and A. 15 to 25%, not so much, but yes, 15 to 25% is also important, is your ENS.
And one important thing,
Yes.
sorry Megha, interrupting you, just for the benefit of listeners, this 15 to 25% is very important because the compulsory question is being tested on this. So this is the important aspect. Though major portion is of level 2, but yes, this compulsory question is based on level 3rd only.
Yes.
So take care of this thing.
और एक टिप और भी देना चाहूंगी, whenever you are looking at the question paper, according to me, don't look at the question number 1 before, क्योंकि question number 1 is very, sometimes is very tricky and you can lose the confidence. Just start from question. It's my personal advice.
Yes, this is what I have said.
Yes.
One line I have said it. The gateway to success, you know, the gateway to achieve that 40% individual clearance of paper. You need to start with your that particular answer, which is answer which is easy, on which you are comfortable. So take that thing first, so that you tend to develop the confidence, speed, and everything come into in line, so that you can easily proceed with the further attempting of the paper.
Yes. And for this ENS and synthesis question, just in the study material, these 3 chapters contains a lot of practical questions. At the end of the study material, at the end of every chapter, test your knowledge covers so many questions, and many similar questions come in your examination. So study material covers descriptive questions also, so kindly go through that questions also, for not for these 3 chapters, for all the chapters.
Yes, there is no scope for, you know, for leaving anything.
Yes.
For, you can say, by chance or something at your choice. There is no such scope to do everything. Let me tell you very frankly, only the choice is only there where some applicability or some announcement is there that this thing is excluded from the scope of coverage. Only there it will be a shorty. Otherwise, you need to do the full and complete thing. And you can see one thing, that with respect to skill wise grade, that already have told you, you need to give time little bit, at least few, you can say at least 1 hour to understand with what aspect and how this skill grid has been framed, so that you become comfort in reading and understanding, and you can also proceed towards your planning and the preparation, where you have to focus more, which topic is to be taken into consideration, considering its weightage assigned to it, and what nature of questions are mostly asked from this topic. Just see the suggested answer, just see the past paper patterns already we have discussed. So that paper pattern will give you a brief idea कि yes, generally the papers are framed in such a manner. So you can understand this thing, and you can also come across with what are the important sections or the topics which are regularly being tested in the examinations. So accordingly, you can do your little bit of homework. These are the important topics that you can do it. But yes, not it is 100% that this is only going to come. But yes, probability is increased. So do it with along with your way of reading. You adapt the smart way of study also, so that will help you in your performance.
So, yes, ENS 15 to 25%, analysis A and A 60 to 70%, and your KNC question, direct nature questions, is very less, that is 10 to 20%. So you can see the combination of these 3 types of questions in your suggested answers. So if we see that section 1, all the 3 types of skills can be asked. It can be KNC also, it can be application oriented, and it is, Nisha has already told that ENS question comes in your compulsory question, and compulsory question is based entirely on chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, that is section 1. So these three sections are very important from examination point of view. And ENS type of question can also be asked on section 2nd, inspection, compromise and prevention, and the weightage assigned to this section is 15 to 20%. So kindly go through each and every chapter, the descriptive questions at the end, and then you can refer the MCQ booklet, then you can refer the RTP, MTP suggested answer. So this is the procedure, this is the strategy in which you can utilize this 40 minutes, 40 days period.
Yes.
Then section 3 is your winding up, companies incorporated outside India, miscellaneous provisions, adjudication, national, NCLT. This is 5 chapters are there, but it is very, you can say, procedural in nature. So for memorization point of view, you can read and you have to memorize these sections. So 25 to 40% is allotted to this. So it is a very high section, high weightage, a major weightage is assigned to this section. It's very procedural in nature, and your application, no ENS question will be asked on this, only application and KNC. So whenever you read this chapter from the study material, these are very well explained in your study material. Flow charts in the form of flow charts, in the form of diagram. So you will, as you read the chapters, you will get an idea that how these sections are correlated. So 5 chapters are very important, taking into account the section wise weightage.
क्योंकि जो procedural chapters होते हैं, wherever there
Yes.
is procedural chapter, it has a steps actually.
Yes.
So you just need to understand that mode of the steps. This first we have to do this, then if this is being done, then to the next step. So you have to read in linkage with the one provision of the others, and that will make you not only to understand the compliance requirement, but also you will be able to retain it, because everything is step. If you're reading in the step or in correlation in each and every provision, you can easily remember and you can also easily solve out the question whenever asked in the examination. So many questions are given in your this RTP and this MTP based on these for every this topic covered under the syllabus. Just practice from it. If you see from section number 1, whatever has been said, that there the practical, that there's understanding of the subject is tested, and there mostly the questions from that particular topic is asked of application based. Your practical knowledge is being tested within the situation. But here, since it is a procedural, so they generally test key within the any condition, how the law will be complied, what are the requirement to be compliant in such a situation. The application may be tested in such a way, and if they want, they can directly ask you any compliant procedure. What is the procedure for filing of application related to if any company wants to be declared as a dormant company, then what will be the procedure. So it will be a direct nature of the question. And suppose if a situation is there that company is there, he has not done a significant transaction or a business for last 3 years, then what will be the situation if they want to declare the dominant company, whether they can do it or not. So they are testing how you can analyze the situation and then applying the relevant law over there. So in that way, these questions are being tested over here on these topics. And then the security laws.
Section 4 is your securities law, which comprises of SEBI Act and SEBI LODR regulations. So SEBI LODR, this chapter is very important, taking into account the section wise weightage 15 to 20%, and both type of questions are being asked. One thing, for LODR regulations, you have to refer the amendments also. Amendments we have given in the RTP. So amendments are very important. Sometimes the same amendments is being asked in your examination. So just go through the amendments thoroughly.
Yes, even if, as it has been pointed out, FCRA, this was the based on the amendment only. Similarly, they can test you in the examination also. So these amendments are very important, because in FEMA also the amendments are there.
IBC.
Yes, then IBC is there, and of course then the security law means SEBI LODR. Companies Act, very few amendments are there, but everything is available on the website. Take out the hard copy of that amendments and just keep it at one place, and then you can mark in your respective note or the book wherever you are reading, so that while reading that particular chapter or the provision, you will be aware, yes, there is an amendment in this particular portion and this is the amendment. So read and just place everything at one place while studying.
Yes, next. Part 2nd is your economic laws, 30 marks. In this, there are 5 chapters. So section 1 is your FEMA, like FEMA, PMLA, FCRA, arbitration and insolvency, both type of questions can be asked, like comprehension also, application and analysis, and weightage is almost similar, 20 to 30%, 20 to 30%. In these, for these chapter, study material is a must because it contains some questions which can be asked in your examination. And amendment, which we have already told that for FEMA and IBC, importantly, most importantly, these two chapters contains lot of amendments which may form a question in your examination. So amendments are very crucial for examination point of view.
And further, one more thing is there ki if you see, these are the acts which contain the overview. Not every act or every rule or every regulation is contained over there. So somewhere you have to restrict what you have to study. The scope is to be defined. Because if you see, knowledge is like a ocean. You don't know where to start from FEM and where to. There are 31 regulations.
Yes.
So you can't do everything, and everything is not forming the part of your study material or your syllabus. The thing is that, so for these particular economic law question, as Megha said, you need to go with the study material only, just because of its overview coverage of the content. So what all guidelines have been covered, and in up to what extent they have been covered. So go accordingly and just go with the study material, these important topics.
One query we have received, Harsh Koyal, can we do any question in any order? Yes, dear students, you can do any question in any order, but subparts should not be in
complete question should be there, that should be taken care of.
Sumit has sent some suggestion for LVC. Sumit, we have taken note of it.
Yeah. Okay, then let's go to other thing. Sneha, you can send your query because this is a technical query, and if I've started taking any of the technical query as of now, yeah, then there will be a bulk of the queries in my this query pad. So you do one thing, you just send your query
on
to
mobile
me
app.
on the mobile app. Definitely, I will see and reply.
There is a portal, ask your query, and subject wise mails you can send, so you can send your queries through that portal.
Yes. Then now the relevant amendment, already told you, because since our study materials of October 2021 edition, right? So there we are containing up till 30th April 2021 the amendments. So now the thing is that what about the rest of the amendments? For rest of the amendments we have given with the RTP, so you can refer the RTP, or it is separately hosted on the website under the heading recent amendments or the developments. So from there, you can find out all the amendments which have been made for a period of 1st May 2021 to this for 30th April 2023. So whatever the amendments given over there, they are only relevant for you. Don't go beyond of it. So read it and mark it in your reading material so that only you keep yourself, conversant with the applicable amendment only. If you read the old, then you will see the new, then you will be confused. Just mark it there with the latest amendment. So read only that latest amendment with only, so that you can make it out, and you'll be able to acquaint with whatever the applicable law is as on date. So kindly go it. We have given you the link. Go on the link and just go through the amendments. Then let's take one question over here. One or two questions just for give you an idea what sort of questions are being asked in the exam, how you can reply, on what basis you give the answer, just to enlighten you, so that it will help you somewhere in the examination.
Yes. Modern furniture, we are taking one MCQ first, because MCQ is a division A. So we are taking one MCQ, then we will discuss one descriptive question, one or two descriptive question as the time allows us. Modern Furniture Limited is in expansion mode. Recently, it has established the branches and showroom in 25 different cities of India. It's a company limited, public limited. Following are the balances on 9 December 2022, when the board of Modern Furniture is considering to borrow money for expansion activities. Particulars are given like share capital, free reserve, CRR, revaluation reserve, securities premium, securities debt, loans or unsecured loans. Amount is given in the form of thousands. Then information is given regarding unsecured and loan. Includes temporary loan of 30 lakhs, out of which Unsecured loan includes temporary loan of 30 lakhs, out of which 13 lakh raised for the purpose of financial expenditure. Yes, sounds good. For the purpose of financial expenditure of a capital nature, whereas 8 lakh repayable on demand and remaining 9 lakh will be repayable in 3 equal installments starting from next month. Advise the board of directors how much they can borrow with board resolution only. This is an example of your independent MCQ, because case scenario is given, but case scenario, on the basis of case scenario only one question is asked. So see, starting may I have read the case scenario, and after looking at the question I will again go to the question. Like what question he is asking? The board of directors how much they can borrow with board resolution, like 3.6 crore, 3.73 crore, 6.8 or 6.93. The question answer, this borrowing, if we remember the study material, it's covered from chapter 3, meetings of board and its powers. So if we look at the section 180 subsection 1 subsection C, it says that board of directors of a company the board of directors can borrow money, but there is a limit. And if there is no limit, the board of directors can borrow whatever the amount they want. So there is a restriction. If up to that level, board of directors can borrow in the board resolution, but if the borrowing is exceeding the limit, so they have to go to the board meeting, general meeting. So board of directors of a company shall borrow money only with the consent of the company by a special resolution. Where the money to be borrowed, we can see that consent of the company by special resolution is required where the money to be borrowed together with the money already borrowed. For example, if the limit is 10 lakh, for example, we can taking one example, the limit is 10 lakh only. So board of directors can take the borrowing up to 10 lakh only in the board meeting. But if the board of directors want to go beyond 10 lakhs, so they have to go to the general meeting to the shareholders, and where they have to pass a special resolution. And what is the limit? The limit is prescribed under section 180, that aggregate of its paid up share capital, free reserve and securities premium, and apart from temporary loans obtained from company bankers in the ordinary course. So we can see that paid up share capital, free reserves and securities premium, this has to be included. This is the limit up to which the board of directors can borrow in the board meeting only. But if the limit is exceeding these three figures, so they have to go to the general meeting. We can see that paid up share capital is given like 5, and free reserves is your 11, and your securities premium is your 3. Share capital is 50. We can we have converted this portion into crores. So amount is given 50,000 and 50,000. So share capital is your 5. Your free reserves is your 11.60 crore, and your securities premium is your 3.2 crores. If you convert these figures, you will get an idea. So combination of these three figures will come to 19.80.
This is the maximum limit. Yes.
So board of directors can borrow up to 19.8 crore only. See, तो सी फॉर MCQ आपको कितना ज्यादा कैलकुलेशन करना पड़ा. So MCQs में भी it will take time. So you have to all the provision should be in your mind, and the concept clarity is a must for these type of MCQs. Now what is the existing borrowing? अब हमें existing borrowing निकालना है. Existing borrowing is your secured and unsecured debts excluding temporary loans. We have seen in the definition that temporary loans are not forming. So if we see that your 9.85 crore is your 9.85 crore is your secured debt, and unsecured debt is your 3.32 crores, and out of that we will see this figure also, that unsecured debt 30 lakhs, out of which 13 lakh raised for the purpose of capital, and 8 lakh is your payable on demand, and 9 lakh will be prepayable in 3 equal installments starting from next month. So we can see that secured loans, that is your 9.85, and unsecured loan your 3.32, and minus 0.17 temporary loans we have to reduce. 30 lakhs में से we have to reduce 13 crores. What is 13.13 crore? 13 crore is your financial expenditure. So here the existing borrow comes out to be 13 crores. So the company wants to borrow up to can borrow up to 19.8 crore, but already borrowed कितना है company के पास? The already borrowed is 13 crore. 13. So 19.80 minus 13 comes to 6.80. So 6.80 tak company can board of directors can borrow in the board meeting. Beyond that, beyond 6.80, maybe the company wants to borrow 7 crore. Above then 13 crore. So here the special resolution at the general meeting is required. So we can see that the option C will be the correct option, that is 6.80. So in looking at the question, you can see that minimum 5 minutes time we have spent on this. So and that too if we remember the section number, section provision.
Yes. And sometimes it's possible that here 5 minutes it's taken, yeah, 3 minutes is on an average, 3 minutes is taken on solving these types of the MCQs. But it may be possible. Some of MCQs may be very easy.
Yes,
take 1
you
minute
can attempt
also.
it 1 minute also.
So it depends. So these
it's a mixture of questions.
Yes,
it's an application and oriented MCQ, so it takes some 2 to 3 minutes, but maybe some questions are direct in nature. It hardly takes 30 seconds or 1 minute.
But if you are conversant with this particular concept, how you calculate how much loan a company can avail or borrow, if you are clear what are the values you have to be taken into consideration and what has been already borrowed, if you know these concepts very well and how you're going, then you can easily make out this calculation in your fingertips.
Yes. So this type of knowledge also comes from your suggested answer, from your descriptive questions given in the study material.
Descriptive questions also. Just solve the descriptive question under test or knowledge it is given. So you just go through it. Sometimes the MCQs are picked from there also. So it happens. Vice versa. Sometimes MCQs are framed as a descriptive, and sometimes it may be possible from descriptive the questions may be framed or some MCQs may be raised from there. It may also be possible by here giving 2 more MCQs based on the same facts. It may become a case scenario.
Yes.
So that may also be possible. So read the questions, whatever is given in your all the available sources that already had been discussed. Just read it properly, write it, understand it, analyze it, apply it, evaluate it. Then it will be everything at your fingertips and within your command.
One suggestion. Kindly conduct these BOS for your success 2 times, one after result and another after MTP1. It's a very good suggestion.
Yes.
We will communicate to the higher authorities.
Yes. Then let's take one more question. This was the question that we have discussed considering the application and analysis base. Now let's discuss some sort of, you can say,
descriptive.
Yes, it may be based on compliance part, or you can say it is of the direct nature, right? So, but since a situation is given initial, what I have said, sometimes it happens that they can ask a situation and then they ask what is the compliance requirement. That is also a direct kind of comprehensive based testing of the question. So here you can see this is such an example. Okay. So here what is given over here, that under a CIRP process, it was suggested for the replacement of the resolution professional. So what happens, COC in its meeting decided to replace RP1. This is already who is there as a resolution professional. So his replacement has been taken into consideration in the COC meeting by another RP2, and this through the passing of the 100% voting share. So an application was preferred for its replacement. NCLT allowed application filed by the financial creditors. So RP1, however, contended that NCLT passed an invalid order. He was not satisfying with the decision or the order of the NCLT. So he contended that this order passed was invalid because he has not been given an opportunity of being heard, which is the principle of the natural justice. You must have audi alteram partem. This is the Latin terminology for the principle of the justice, to hear the other side of the party, to hear all the parties. No one should be left unheard. So now in the light of this situation, the question has been asked as to the validity on the compliance of legal requirement, whether the legal compliance has been done as per the requirement of the law, whether the NCLT passed an invalid order or it is as per the legal order, as per the legal provisions. So now what the IBCs, so first you should recall which provisions deals with the replacement of this this resolution professional. So first you should recall in your mind. So yes, you will recall it. Yes, Section 27 of the code talks about the replacement of the resolution professional. Now, how he can be removed, how he can be replaced with any other resolution professional? So it's first, when. कब हो सकता है? Any time during the CIRP process. First, you should know when. ऐसा नहीं कि once the CIRP process is completed and after that all of a sudden one day you say कि we have to remove this RP. Further, he's just looking forward to the further procedure of this continuing with the business. So he will be saying, this RP should be removed, should be replaced. So that should not be possible after the completion of CIRP process, right? So at any time, but during the CIP process, this is the one requirement. Then the further next requirement is that where the COC is of the opinion कि yes, that the resolution professional is so appointed is required to be replaced. So they may replace him with another this resolution professional, but the requirement is that with the passing of vote of 66% of voting share. This is the next important condition. Wherever any COC is of the opinion that resolution professional should be replaced. So what is being required? He is being required to initiate and pass such a resolution with the vote of 66% of voting share. Okay. Next important thing, this line is there, subject to written consent of proposed resolution professional in the specified form. Means this is required that this condition should be fulfilled. If this condition is somewhere missing, then you can say such an appointment is also not valid. You are required to seek, the consent of the person who has been proposed to be appointed. So this is also the third important requirement. Then what will happen? Then COC will forward the suggested name to the board. Okay, and so we will forward as proposed by them to the adjudicating authority, and adjudicating authority will pass to the board. Okay, this will be the process. First to the adjudicating authority. When he endorses yes and approved, then it will pass to the board. And he will confirm that such resolution professional is appointed. So this is the important thing. However, this is one aspect that if any disciplinary action is already going on the proposed resolution professional, then what will happen? Suppose if in the situation it is given that the RP2 who has been appointed, suppose any disciplinary proceeding is going against him, then what will be the condition? Whether he will continue or he cannot be appointed. So in that case, you are required to be conversant with subsection 5 of the code. It says that if any disciplinary proceedings are pending against the proposed resolution professional, then such resolution professional will continue till any other resolution professional will be appointed. So again, for him, replacement will be taken into consideration. Some other resolution professional will be appointed through all compliance with all this process. But till that time, a new resolution professional is appointed in his place. The proposed resolution professional will continue on that particular office. So this is about the compliance part. Now, after giving this, then you will give your conclusion part. So it says that the replacement is complete because the procedure has been complied with within the question. So it is complete. But however, the issue was that he has not been given opportunity to be heard. But nowhere the provision talks about this particular aspect. So that means this was not the mandatory requirement. This was not being required. And further here 100% voting share has also been passed in the COC meeting. So considering that the compliance is in order, and so this NCLT order passed is valid, and whatever the RP1 has contended is invalid. So I suppose that you have understood how to give the answers and what are the important aspects that you can do. Suppose now if this question is asked for 5 marks, then it's okay, you have given everything. Now suppose if this question is of just of 3 marks, because many times students say what to write and how much to write. So what important aspect I have told you? There are 3 important things that you should take a note of. First, possible right section number, already said it adds weightage to your presentation. Being at final level, this is something expected. Write it. If not able to recall, then simply write as per the provision of the code. Okay? Then you can simply start with that point. So you are being required. First, it can be, if required, if this is the condition, if something it is affecting the question after passing of completion of the CIP process, then you need to mention this point also. But since in the question nothing is said, it said during the CIP process. So even if it does not mention this point, then also it's okay. You have to mention first requirement is of the 66% of the voting share, the resolution should be passed. And second important aspect is seeking of a written consent from the proposed drug. These two important are aspect. And nothing has since been prescribed about the hearing of the other side of the party. So you can simply by mentioning freeze of 2 marks, simply by laying down this particular aspect of the legal provision, you can give your conclusion in line with whatever the information given in the question, in syncing with the legal issue that is given over here, that he has not been heard, however this has been passed. This is all taken from the question itself, and then concluding your answer with the correct conclusion is sufficient as per the weightage to the allotted question. So you have to mention and write in such a manner, right? So here we have taken up this thing, and now let's see what is the next.
Some query, one or two, three query.
Hmm.
Ma'am, why RTP and MTP do not contain explanation of MCQ solution that will be much beneficial? We just note the suggestion.
We have just noted your suggestion, Vinay, and because since we have tried to follow something similar as to examination, because in an examination also this is not given. So it has been tried to be in that manner only, but yes, we have noted and we will just convey to the concerned persons about your suggestions. Then one Vinay Kumar has asked about audit some amendments. Look, Vinay.
There is amendment under
Yes.
Regulation 25.
Yes, Vinay,
Yes.
first thing I would like to tell you that with respect to this, you're talking with respect to the audit subject also. Somewhere the same query has been raised by
Yes,
Sneha
Anka.
also.
Yes.
Yes, Sneha, if you're talking with reference to the audit, this subject, so I will tell you ki in law, we are not covering every rules and regulation, first of all.
Yes.
Okay, we are covering to
Only
certain as a limited, wherever it is being required. And in audit, since audit is the main coverage of the paper, main you can say based on the, it is the main you can give on which the audit paper is based, the audit part. So there, if something is being done by the independent, something important related pertaining to him with respect to the audit part, so it may be given over there. So you read the amendment relevant for the audit from the audit amendments wherever it is given, and with respect to the law part, restrict to the amendment whatever is given
in the RTP.
In the RTP with respect to the law papers. So kindly go accordingly. Anything else? Yes, it has been done. Yeah. So we have tried to cover up everything, and we have taken up all the queries also. And considering that this session will be really of great benefit to you students, and with intent only that you students should not only be gathering that motivation and that to go and proceed with the further studies and do well in your examination. So this session is scheduled at this moment of time, because this is the need of the heart, that you understand what is being expected by the examination from you students being at the final level. So these are all small things. These are nothing new, but yes, something which every time we just bring to your notice, so that you inculcate in yourself while doing up the examination or attempting the paper or writing the answers. So please do look into it. Whatever we have shared, already the recorded lectures will be available. So you can say it. We can only say at the end this part ki yes, this examination not only tests your academic knowledge, but it tests your calmness, stability, and courage. Just do it. You are going to really win and get the victory.
Yes.
So with this, we would like to conclude our session, and thank you for being with us and for patience listening. Have a good day, and bye, and all the best.
All the best.